Hi everybody, welcome back to Mel's Go Slow Crochet, or welcome if it's your first time here. This is meant to be just a vlog where I just talk and just get all my crochet talk out for the week, because this is the captive audience, but also because I had some feedback from the first video. Um, Thank you to those who watched and who subscribed. That was very kind. And people were wondering if I'm going to be doing tutorials because they were really keen on tutorials. This is not the channel for tutorials. As I said, it's been less than 2 years that I've been crocheting. I really don't think I'm in a position to teach people, and I don't know that I'd be any good at that. Not just because there are amazing tutorial channels out already. Some of them that I used personally were ones like Hooked by Robin. She goes through things really slowly. Me Ma Makes was really good if you just want to learn a bunch of different stitches and just practice them on scarves or blankets or anything. Yeah, it's not for me. And I also I've found ways to crochet that I'm really comfortable with my hands, like holding the yarn and the tension and everything, and I'm sure that they are not textbook, and I don't want to teach people the wrong way, there's so many channels on YouTube which are proper tutorial channels, and they're really well set up and really well done. I can't compare with that. So if you are here looking for tutorials, I'm really sorry. Who knows what can happen in the future? I will never say never, but it's not the plan with this channel anyway. But yes, thank you. And I was really, really pleased with all the people that left such lovely comments or gave me feedback personally. And this time I've tried to do the basics, like remember that I need to film this in landscape because I didn't do that last time. Whoops, rookie mistake. And I also have a microphone now, so hopefully the sound is better on TV. Yeah, we'll see how that all goes. But it looks like it's all working, so hopefully this comes out sounding a bit better and you don't hear too much of me just breathing because no one needs that. Anyway, for this video, I thought I would show some of the things that I made in my first year of crochet that I talked about last week. So nobody feels bad about their progress because everyone's got to start somewhere, right? And I had literally wasn't lying when I said I'd never picked up a crochet hook before I bought this kit for my daughter. So let me show you this only piece of amigurumi that I've ever made. Feel better about yourselves, guys, because I'm not built for amigurumi. So this was the dinosaur kit that I ended up making for my daughter. Let me tell you a bit about this. Okay, so first of all, the hook size that they gave in the kit was probably a bit too big because there wasn't enough green yarn. So I got through a certain point and then had to go buy green yarn. So I had to take it all apart and do it again. And then I didn't really know about how much fill to put in because the fill is so super soft. And I was just like, I don't know, is it too soft? And so I overfilled him. So that's why he doesn't have a neck. Sorry, little dinosaur. And then by the time, putting on the cheeks, just stitching them on and the eyes, no worries. And then by the time I got to the mouth, I was so over it and it looks terrible and I don't care. And the best thing is that when I gave this to my daughter, she absolutely loved it. So I've taken this out of her room. It's in her room with her other stuffed toys. I think his name's Diney. I can't remember. But I had a heck of a time with this kit, and she also, we were shopping once and we bought little penguins in a kit, and I haven't even started making those. They are so low priority, but she keeps asking about when I'm going to do them. They will probably be the only other thing that are a toy that I'll make. This is not for me. People make gorgeous amigurumi things. I don't have the patience, don't have the skill. I just don't have it. I can hear my kitten trying to get in this room, and I'm trying to prevent that. So if we have a break-in, if you see that door open all of a sudden, that's who it is. Anyway, I shall continue. I also thought I would show you the very first scarf I made, which I don't really, let's just call it a big swatch, because it's not really a scarf fit for anybody. So I went, as I think I mentioned, I went to just like Big W and bought some cheap yarn and a cheap hook just to practice stitching. And so I kept practicing and kept practicing, kept undoing everything until I got a scarf made. And it's only out of one skein of yarn, so it's not long enough, but it is for my child. I'd made it too thick and I didn't make it long enough. But I was really happy by the time I got to this stage, because the edges looked like they should. The stitches were all pretty even. But this, I think, was like 10 attempts just to doing it, ripping it all out, starting again. And then, so it was the first thing I really made. And look, it holds a special place in my heart, even though it's not really functional and it's not pretty. But yeah, that's the first thing I made where the stitches were nice and even and stuff. So, you know, it doesn't matter. Just keep going. Just use that cheap ball of yarn, use the cheap hook if you need, like just practice, rip it out, start again. And then I finally made my daughter a nice scarf. Now this one I'm really happy with and she loves it. And it's using what's called the Suzette stitch, which I absolutely love. I have used this on scarves, I think 3 or 4 more times. I absolutely love it. And then I put a little fringe on the bottom, and it's just, this was a one skein from, I think it was Patterns. Oh, you know, the brand Patterns, but I can't remember. I'm really bad at keeping, well, at this point I was really bad at keeping a record of what yarn I used and stuff. I've started writing it all down and the hook sizes and stuff now, but I love this. Really happy with that. And then I also made her a beanie, which she wanted she said, can you make me the smallest pom-pom? And it doesn't really work with the beanie, but if you just ignore that and you just look at the rest of the beanie, it's quite nice. And this was I think it's like a cotton blend, I can't remember now, that I got from the first Fibre Feast I went to. And I just bought 2 things of yarn, and this was one of them. Yeah, she really likes this too. She likes the rainbows, you know, little kids. And I also lied last week when I said I haven't made anything yet this year, because this temperature blanket that I talked about last week, I did finish in January. So technically that counts as a 2026. So I'm going to count that. I brought it again just because it's one of the few things that I've finished and I've kept hold of. Lots of other things that I've made have ended up with people that I care about. So obviously the baby blankets, there's been 2 that I've made. They've gone. I've made scarves for several family members, beanies and socks. And I just enjoy making things for other people. But this year's been more about making blankets for our family. Anyway, so that is the finished object stuff that I just wanted to give you a bit of a show and let you know that it's okay if your stuff looks rubbish, because it will get better. Things do improve. So, you know, like, yeah, when I think back to how long it used to take me to do a row in a scarf and how much I frogged that project, which is ripping it out and starting again, it was a lot. And it definitely helps to just keep practicing. Just don't give up. Just keep going. So now on to my works in progress. Now, you might recall I've started the burrow blanket and I had all the squares and I needed to match stitch them together. Well, I made a start on the mattress stitching so far. I've only got 2 rows sewed together, but I had to scrap the mattress stitching. Let me tell you what happened. So I decided to just continue with the tabby colour that I already have, even though I think I'm going to run out and they're still out of stock on the website. I'm keeping an eye on it. I will need to order some more because I won't have enough for the border. But I started with a different colour mattress stitching, and I obviously had too many stitches on the go, and then when I tried to tighten them, I ripped the thread. Thankfully, I was only like 1 square in, and so I was like, oh, forget it, I'll take it all out and I will use the correct colour. Did the next lot, I got up to 4 squares in and then realised I had messed up the colour combination and like back here. So I had to go back and redo it. So that was great. And then the third time I got up to about, I was halfway through the second lot and then the yarn ripped again. I don't know what I'm doing with mattress stitch. Like, obviously you need to pull it a bit tighter to get the seams nice and close. But I don't know if it's the yarn, because this yarn's really lovely to work with, but maybe because it's got these little tweed bits in it, maybe they catch, or I don't know. But I really struggled and I don't know what was going on. So then I was like, well, now what am I going to do? Because I've got this brown border on here. So I tried doing like a single crochet just to connect, but then it looked really bulky because I've already got a border on here. If I didn't have a border on here already, I could have done that. But it just didn't look right. And then, then I jumped onto YouTube, and recently Gumleaf Crochet she's been working on lots, like a big granny square project thing. So she's shown lots of granny squares that you can do, and she's shown a few different ways you can stitch them together and a few different borders you can do. So I was like, well, what other stitch can I use? What can I do? And she had one on there called the flat slip stitch. And so that's what I tried, and I think it works because it doesn't look too bulky. I don't know if you can see that. It doesn't look too bulky, and it fits in neatly. It neatly puts them together. So I'm going to continue with that, but because it was like the 4th time I tried to put these blasted things together, it was like 11 o'clock at night and I was done. So I'll have to get back to this one, but I haven't made as much progress as I would have liked. I'm hoping to finish this before the end of June, and I still need to put all the other rows on and then do the vertical stitching and then put the border on. So I don't know how that's going to go. Obviously the vertical will be a bit easier because I've got these stitch markers in keeping them together, but also I don't have to rearrange the colours and stuff. They're done. But we'll see how that goes. It's taking longer than I thought, and I don't know. I knew that would be the part that would get me, but I didn't know that it would take, losing my mind for a day to do it. Anyway, the other thing is, this is the temperature blanket that I'm working on for our wedding year. I just need to be careful because it's still attached to yarn. And I am up to the last row. So I've started the last row. Here we are. And I've got, that's the start of the row. And then I've got this much left to do. And then I've got the border to do. I have worked it out that should be done in the next week, all going well. So hopefully next week I'll have a new finished object to show you. Probably no progress on the other one. But anyway, that's been me. It's been freezing here. Haven't had as much time to crochet as I would like. And then the time I do have, I spend the entire night battling with the Barrow blanket and putting that together. So the plans are after this, I don't know. I just want to get these done, and then I should really finish off my husband's beanie. I should really work on make a start on my daughter's teacher's shawl, because I don't want to leave that to the last minute. I don't know. But anyway, the plan is to have these done by the end of this month. This one, hopefully by next week, it'll be done. And then I can focus on that one and get that done. Anyway, we'll see how we go. But that's what's been going on with me. If you'd like to leave a comment of what you've been up to. I should also say that my plan for this channel, like I said, is pretty easygoing, especially at this stage. I've still got heaps to learn about editing, more than just putting this together. I mean, in terms of shooting some B-roll and inserting that, adding some music to make it a bit more interesting. So I hope that you'll join me on this journey, and in the meantime that we can just have a chat and catch up every week. So yeah, if you would like to, please subscribe. I get really excited when I see the numbers going up, albeit, it's been slow, but it's only been, a week. So I'm not really doing it for that. I'm doing it so I can get, this creativity out there and talk to people about crochet, because I don't get to otherwise. So thank you for joining me on this journey, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.